Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's your coach, Trev Bucheri here, and hope you're having a great day today. Um, I'm really amped because it's Nutrition Day, and we're going to take a little bit of a different approach today because today we're talking about getting in shape post COVID 19. Because the great thing is that the light at the end of the tunnel is here. We can see the light. Things are going to start transitioning back to, some sort of normalcy, or the new normalcy is really the best way to say it. So, what we're going to talk about today again is getting back in shape after that, because there's a lot of things that have happened over this time, and really many of us have gotten better, many of us have gotten worse, let's just say, in terms of our own conditioning from where we actually would like to be ideally. And that's just a fact, and the whole like summation of this session today is that's okay. It's okay. Whatever happened, happened. All right. So we're going to go into step number one. Step number one is having patience with yourself. Having patience with yourself. And that's exactly where I was going, because whatever happened, happened. And whatever you did to get through, you utilized as a strategy. If you used working out super hard at home and eating healthier, and hey, this is my time to do this, and you utilized it that way, man, good for you. Good for you. But if at the same time you were saying, man, I'm just mentally in a really rocky place and a hard place right now, and the only way I can get through, literally in my life is to eat everything in sight. It's the only thing that's going to actually make me, able to get through this. Well, good for you as well. Both situations deserve gratitude, because of the fact that you're here, you made it through, your strategy worked, whatever it may be. And patience for yourself if it wasn't the exact strategy that you would have liked to do ideally. I think that's just number one, hands down. Because here's the deal, if we're hating on ourselves, there is no step two until we stop hating on ourselves. That's really it. Even if we actually start our progression of nutrition, exercise, those type of things, there really is not going to be the progression that there will be once the acceptance for whatever has happened in the past has been accepted, and we move on that way. So that is number one. Number two is really just going to be about formulating a plan. Again, if you're planning to or failing to plan, you're planning to fail. So, I attribute it to the way that I used to be driving around, without a GPS. But either way, the whole idea is circling all the way back. We need to have a plan. If we're failing to plan, we're planning to fail. So the plan really starts with what I suggest, the most simplistic thing. And it really comes down to nutrition. Because nutrition is, it's the key. It's 80% bar none, if not more, to the success. Working out is a huge piece. It's a huge piece. It is. And of course, we're never going to achieve the same conditioning. We're never going to be like, oh, wow, I have rock hard abs, or whatever your goal is. You're never going to be, toned to that same level if exercise is not involved. Exercise is very complementary to nutrition, as opposed to the other way around. Yes, you could say, of course, nutrition is complementary to exercise, because if you're eating like garbage and you're exercising, but what I'm saying is that the impact of nutrition on our conditioning and our shapes, and for moving towards body transformation goals, the impact of nutrition is fourfold, fivefold. It really, really is. So that's a great place to start. And there's two ways you can do this. Some people like to go cold turkey, boom, I'm starting tomorrow. I'm going to hammer food today, and tomorrow's the new day. Great. Be honest with yourself, about how that's gone for you in the past. You know what I mean? If that works for you, fantastic. Another way that I've seen work very, very well is by taking 1 to 2 things today. What 1 to 2 things am I going to do differently today that's going to be impacting that goal that I'd like to do for my nutrition? I'd like to be here for my nutrition, but I'm going to give myself about a week and a half to transition to it, as opposed to be like tomorrow. Okay. So that's another way to do it. 1 to 2 things a day. And over a 2-week period, you've done 14 things, and you're maintaining those 14 things. And this is, one thing might be, okay, I'm going to drink, 8 glasses of water, a day. Great. That's one of the things. What else are you going to do starting tomorrow? I'm going to, whatever, I'm going to start food prepping. Okay. So even if you're say if you're eating pizza for every single meal, well, even if you're prepping your pizza and you're getting that ready, that is a step. Okay. Because somewhere down the line, There's going to be, you know what, I'm gonna start looking at my food components and maybe looking at my proteins, my fats, and my carbohydrates, and maybe start to make some different choices depending upon the goal. Again, we want to be eating with intention. So that's really what we're going to be looking at here. Is looking at the intention of our goal. What do we want to be? Do we want to? I want to get toned. I want to lose 50 pounds, or I want to build muscle. I want to do this. Okay, so that's our intention. Then we can structure our minds based upon eating with intention. Okay. So number three is another part of having a plan, but it's also having a plan on exercise. So maybe maybe you haven't exercised during this particular period of time, but I think we can all agree exercise is an absolute booster in every area of life. Quite frankly, if we're moving better, if our body's feeling better, if we're feeling stronger, we have more confidence. We actually have more just physical ability, and everything is just ramped up from there. Everything improves. Everything improves. In fact, that's the concept of that book that I wrote, Fit Mind plus Fit Body equals Fit Life. If we have our mindset all squared away and we say, hey, I know this is important to me, say my family is most important to me. And then we say plus fit body. Well, fit body, how does that relate? We say, okay, well, what's my goal? You know what? I'd love to, for myself, I'd love to be 214 and 10% body fat. That's where I'm looking to go. So the question is, great, how does getting to 214 and 10% body fat benefit your relationship with your family? Because that's the most important thing to me. And then it gets to that whole ideal where now you get buy-in and you get worth, you get value to actually hit that goal because you know how it's going to impact what's most important to you, right? And then we can stay consistent on it. And then that's going to actually bleed into all other areas of life in the best of ways. So the whole idea is we're never going to be able to achieve, our potential or our full potential if we're not bringing exercise into play. So putting exercise into play is a plan. And again, this can be, in a gym, this can be in home, whatever you are looking to do, whatever you're looking to do. But the whole idea is have a plan in action and then start at the time that your plan tells you to. Okay. Because here's the deal. If we make ourselves a promise and we say, you know what, I'm going to start on Monday, and we don't, we're letting ourselves down. We're letting ourselves down first. And how are we able to, or how are we going to be able to withhold our promises and withhold our standards and consistency in our integrity over time with others if we're actually breaking all the promises with ourselves first? So how do we actually do that? Well, I couldn't control it. I just fell apart. Great. Well, we can start smaller. We can start with smaller expectations, smaller goals from ourselves. Let's just say your goal is to work out 6 days a week. That's what I'm doing right now personally. And you say, you know what? I'm going to start off with 3. Because week 1, when I came back, I took off some time. Week 1, when I came back, I only worked out 3 times. Then I worked out 4 the next week. Then I worked out 5 the next week, and then 6. And that was kind of my ramping period. Whereas before, back in the day, I would have said, I'm starting off 6 right away, right away. But I felt like this was a smarter approach, So because it was also not even from a sense where for me it was sustainable, but more I knew strategically my body's gonna be a mess. I need that recovery time. I need that. So I'm gonna take a little bit slower with that. And then once it's gonna almost enable me to get up to peak condition that much faster. And honestly, I really believe it has. I really believe it has. So put into play a plan for your exercise as well. It's such an amazing compliment. You're going to get so far with nutrition, and you're going to get so far. Like nutrition is going to bring you so far. And then you're going to say, man, I wonder if I started working out, what would that do? Now, not only for your body, but also for just your mental. It's just gonna do so much for your mentality, for your mindset. It really is, and that mind-body connection. And really just the simplicity of confidence. The simplicity of confidence, it's like the ultimate simplicity because it's so complex, but it's just confidence. It's confidence. When we say, hey, you know what? I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I feel. 9 people out of 10, if not more than that, will then act that out. They'll act that out. They'll act out the fact that they don't look and feel how they want to. So that directly impacts them, in all areas of life, that ripple effect. Well, now what if you did, look and feel how you wanted to? Or not even that, but what if you were taking the actions to enable you to be able to look and feel how you'd like to do? Maybe you say, well, look and feel, look is vain. Well, the reality is that, people like me, for example, if I'm not in a certain condition, I will judge myself. I will have lack of patience with myself, and my confidence will go down. It just will go down, and then I exude that. So my energy level, my vibration level, what I mean, not just energy throughout the day, but what I'm able to give to people in that position is just much less. It's much less than I'm able to when I'm on and I'm thriving. So there it is right there. Number 1 is patience. Number 2 is have a plan in play for your nutrition. Number 3 is have a plan in play for your exercise. And again, circling back to that patience factor, take your time with this. If you got lost during this, no problem. You're still here. You had a strategy. You got through it. You're good. Now we've got all the time in the world to actually go where you want to go. Define where you'd like to go and start chipping away. It doesn't have to happen tomorrow, because if we try to make it all happen tomorrow and we make errors, we are then going to be violating rule number 1, which is having patience with ourselves and compassion and gratitude, for the strategy that we used that got us through. That's the reality of it. So I hope you enjoyed this perspective today. And, I'd love to hear your comments on it. Anything I can do to help, here to serve. Really cannot wait to get our team back in, and to bring all of our VIPs and clients and challengers back in. I would love to have you come in if you're not associated with us yet and you haven't come in and become part of our family. So really looking forward to that. So hope you got a bunch out of this today. It's your coach Trev Bucheri here. You have an incredible rest of your day. Take care.